ProPokerTactics.com.
Okay, Randy Chirac here, and I'm really happy to say that with me today I have Daniel Kreitzman, who is 19 years old, and Daniel he has a nickname, and many of the people, if you hang around a poker room long enough, you'll discover that other people, if they hang around long enough, or if they're really good players or really bad players, they'll get a nickname well, usually including a reputation. Well, Daniel has a nickname, and his nickname is U.B.C. And the reason for that is because he's usually found wearing a sweatshirt that says U.B.C. on it. U.B.C. stands for University of British Columbia, and Daniel is actually a second-year physics major. 19 years old, second-year physics major in university, so they call him U.B.C. He also has a reputation, and his reputation is that of being a very, very good player, and that's why I'm so happy that he's here today. A good player in many, many different ways. I've had the great pleasure of having conversations with him previous to today, and I found out that he approaches it in a very somewhat simple yet analytical, systemized manner, which I find in all manners of life for me in business, and simple and organized and systemized is always a good way to be, and particularly in poker. So his father is an experimental physicist, so he comes from a line, I don't know how far along that line goes, but of brainiacs, of intelligent people. So Daniel, thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks very much.
All right. Well, first of all, Daniel, I know that you play No Limit a lot, and that you also play what I would consider to be higher limits, like 20 to 40. Do you ever play any low limit games? 2-4, 4-8, 6-12?
Well, I used to, of course, when I was starting out, but I don't anymore because I find I don't play as good when the stakes are smaller.
And is that because you're, there's just not enough at stake, so you'll basically go in on cards that you normally wouldn't and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I find myself having a bit too much fun. I mean, if you're used to playing 20-40 and you go to play 2-4, you're not going to take it very seriously. So I find that, whenever I go to play those games, I just bleed off a few $100 and...
So you'll lose more commonly in these smaller games because you're playing recklessly and loosely and not taking it seriously. Whereas you play the bigger games, it's quite the opposite, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I could certainly do very well if I actually tried playing the small games, but the small stakes.
If you focused yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Certainly.
Okay. Well, so you started off, though, like most people, right, playing the smaller one.
Absolutely. I started off when I started playing poker in the casino. I started playing 4-8. That was my entry-level game, so to speak.
Well, right, okay. So, and how about online? Do you play online poker?
When I started playing, I played low limits, like 50 cents a dollar online for a while. In my opinion, it was an absolutely fantastic way to gain experience very fast, and I attribute the fact that I played online, I attribute some of my success to it because I was really able to gain a lot of experience very quickly and for small amounts of money, so I wasn't risking a lot. I think it's very important for new players to play online if they enjoy it, because simply because the speed of online play, you'll gain a lot of hands and gain a lot of experience and not risk a lot of money while you're doing it.
Good. And also, now I'm not speaking from experience because at this point I haven't played online. Now I have almost played online. I've gone there. I've put my credit card in, and then I'm just thinking, oh, do I want to get into this habit? And I haven't, but I know I will soon. And I've just I don't know. I spend a lot of time in front of the computer and away from my family as it is, and at the casino. So, but I agree. There's another big point there that I've heard other people say, and that is that you can play way more hands in much shorter time than you can in a real live situation.
Absolutely, and part of the reason for this is that you're not restricted to playing only one table. I mean, you can play up to 4, and some sites even let you play more tables at once, and the hands go faster at every table, so you can really get in a very large number of hands.
What would you say would be some of the other pros and some of the cons of playing online? I mean, I just mentioned one of the cons, and that is I just know that I love poker so much. I'm going to spend way too much time because it's just going to be too easy to go and play and then get carried away. What are some of the pros and cons of playing online?
All right, well, I'll start with the pros. The pros are, like I said earlier, that you get in very many hands. And from a money-making perspective, if you're a good winning player, the more hands you play, the more money you're going to make. So really, there's a very large advantage to this. The other advantage is that the players aren't extraordinarily good. However, you'll find much worse players in a live situation playing the same stakes. That being said, another pro is that you can simply play from home. It's very easily accessible. You can play whenever you want. You don't need, join long wait lists before you can enter the game, and so on. Some of the cons are, many people don't enjoy playing online. I find that lately, even though there's a lot of money to be made online, I simply don't like playing online because the screen looks the same every time. Every hand looks the same. To me, it gets very monotonous and I get bored very quickly, even if I'm playing multiple tables. So I stay away from it, even though the potential to make money is probably, or certainly higher, than the potential to make money live. Like I said, because you get to play so many more hands. Other cons is that I find, at least in my case, during the periods which I do play online, you end up spending more time playing than you planned on. Because it's always there and it's so easy to just jump on and play. You'll find yourself playing maybe more time than you expected.
More time and potentially lose more money because it's just added on to your online account and you can get carried away quite easily.
That's not really an issue if you're a winning player. I mean, if you're really a solid winning player, when I speak about, spending more time than you planned on, just, if you had other priorities beforehand, poker might, suck them away. And if you're a losing player, well,
then you should be playing 50 cents a dollar anyway or free until you get to become a winning player, right?
Exactly. I mean, if you're simply there to gamble, well, good for you. But you're simply you are going to lose your money quicker online.
Tell me, do you have a best win story, like a best good beat?
Best good beat. There are a bunch of them, but I think my best good beat was about 2 months ago. I was playing No Limit, and the guy raised before the flop about $40, and I just called him with my kings, and the flop came ace, jack, and a small card. I can't quite remember. And he just pushed in $400. And I was thinking to myself, wow, he can't possibly have an ace. Would he really play it that way? Anyways, after much deliberation, I called him with my 2 kings with the ace on board. And he had ace king. So obviously I was drawing to one end. And then bam, on the turn I hit my king. So...
How much did you win? Do you remember in that?
Yeah, it was roughly I won about $500 that pot. So
not bad for a university student for one pot.
No, certainly not.
Hey, well, actually, if do you mind sharing with us some of the amounts of monies that you haven't been playing that long, but do you know where you stand as far as like a few grand? I imagine you are up. I know you are because I just know the way people talk and I see you winning all the time.
Since the start of August, which is when I started playing more seriously at the casino, so roughly 7 months, I'm probably up about somewhere between $20,000 and $23,000.
Wow, that's amazing. Will that pay for your year of school?
Certainly.
Yeah, more so, right?
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of money for a person my age, and it gives me more economic freedom than many people I know.
How often do you play?
Well, during the break and during the summer, I played almost every day. During the school, now that school has started again, I play once a week for a long session, usually 6 to 8 hours on the weekend. And then during the week, if I have time, I'll play 1 or 2 short sessions of 2 or 3 hours.
To hear more of that interview, visit propokertactics.com.